Today's tutorial is all about how to cut and sew this wrap maxi dress that you're seeing on my thumbnail. If this is what you would love to watch, kindly sit back as I take you through this short process. Welcome back to my channel, my people. Just sit back as I take you through this process. On my table is a workpiece for the back panel. So on my borderline, I'll be taking my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided by 2, 8. I know you still remember how to determine our working piece. You take the largest part of your upper bodies, then you divide it into 4, then add like 2 to 4 inches for ease, for that, and for hemming allowance. And this maxi dress, I'll be using 6 yards of African print. So from the borderline, I'll be taking my shoulder to bust point, which is at 12, and then shoulder to waist at 20. Then I will use my ruler and mark across the points that I have already identified. Welcome back once again to my channel. Thank you so much for last year, and this year is going to be a wonderful year for us all. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, please help this channel to grow. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and put on your notification bell to always get notified whenever I post a new video. On the borderline as well, I'll be taking my neck width and neck depth. This is the back panel, so neck width is 3 inches and neck depth is 1.5 inches. I will use my ruler to connect. Thank you to my existing subscribers, my returning subscribers. You guys are all amazing. I do not take you for granted. I really appreciate you guys. So when I am done carving out my neck width and neck depth, on my shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch to form my shoulder slope. Then on my bust point, that's the bust line, I'm going to come up by 2 inches, and that automatically forms my armhole depth. You can also get your depth by dividing your bust circumference by 6 and adding 1.25. It's the same formula. So once I go up by 2 inches on my bust point, I'm going to connect it to the shoulder slope, which I've identified to form my armhole depth. I'll go ahead on my bust points. I'll take my bust circumference, which is 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.75. I'll mark it on my bust line and then add 1.5 inches sewing allowance, the same measurement I have on my bust point. I'll transfer it to my chest line. This is to form my armhole curve. So once I'm done identifying that, I will connect the points on the armhole area to form my armhole curve. So once I'm done with the armhole, the next thing I'll be doing is to, because I will like this clothes to have a dart. If you know me on this channel, I don't like working with darts, but particularly I want this one to have a dart. So I'll be going in with my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. So I'll mark 4 inches on the bust line and on the waist line. Then I'll go ahead and connect the dots. I'll connect the waistline and the bust line together with my ruler. Then once I'm done with that, since this is the back pattern, I'm going to go ahead and take 1/2 inch on the both side by the waistline. 1/2 inch on the both side by the waistline. Then I will connect it in a triangular form to meet the bust line. I'll connect it with my ruler in a triangular form to meet the bust line. That means that is our dart. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and take my waist measurement, which is 38 divided by 2 divided by 4 will give me 9.5 anyway, 9.5. Then I'll go ahead and mark it on my waistline. Then I will go ahead and also add the 1 inches we took out for the dart, and then my 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. Then I will connect it to the chest line. I'll connect the line I made, the marks I make to the chest line. And after I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. That will be all for the back panel. Then we'll go ahead to draft and cut out the front panel. Okay, here we have our back pattern. So what we'll be doing is to, if you if you look at the workpiece for the front part, you find out that it is very wide, wider than the one we use for the back part. So what I'll be doing right now is to just take the front part, the back part, and place on the front part. But before I do that, I'm going to be taking the height of as in the length of the materials, and I'm going to trace out the length of the back at the front fabric. The fabric we'll be using, the pattern we'll be using for the front, and I will draw my lines, which will automatically become my border line. Then what I will do next is that I will divide my waist measurement into 4. When I divide it into 4, it's going to give me 9.75. 9.75. Then I will take the measurement. I'm going to take 9.75, the way you're seeing me do at the center front. I'm going to take 9.75. I will mark it at that. That will form the lap. That will form the wrap. That's the wrap at the front, so that it will wrap very well. Then I will draw a straight line to the border line up. Then what I will do, at that line that I have already drawn, I'm going to place the back side on it. I'm just going to place the back side on it. Then once I'm done placing the back part on it, I'm going to use my safety pin and hold it down. Then I will cut out the excess. I will cut it out. I'm going to trace it out by cutting it out. Just watch me as I do this. Hope you guys are still here. So what I'll be going ahead next to do is to identify where my opening at the neck will start. Where the opening at the neck will start. I'm going to first of all extend my lines. That is the chest line. I'm going to extend it to the other piece. Then I will identify where my opening will stop. I'm going to go up from my waist, from my chest line by 3 inches. Then I will just trace out the width of the back neckline. I'll trace it on that of the front. Then I will just take it straight down. Then I will cut it out. So we have the front part and the back part. We have the front part and the back part. Sorry, I mistakenly cut out the neck of the back part. I mean, I'll be cutting another one entirely off camera. I'll be cutting another one entirely off camera because the neck, I've already tampered with the neck of the back mistakenly. So when you're doing your own, you should be very, very careful. What I did next was to trace out my darts on the front one, on the front pattern. Then I went ahead to go in on my armhole. I identified the center point and I went in by 1/2 inch to curve out my armhole very well. Then I will trace it out. Please, when you're cutting out yours, do not make the mistake I made by mistakenly cutting out your back armhole with back neckline with that of the front. So what I'll be doing next now is to go to my machine and hold down the dart areas. I'm going to go ahead and hold down the dart areas. Once I'm done holding down the dart areas, we'll be proceeding to the next step. What will be the next step? The next step is to take the measurement of our waist point, waist area. So I'm done that. I'm done holding down the darts. So what I'll be doing now is to measure out the waist area of the upper part of the dress. That one is 20. After measuring it is 20, and you can know it's 2 piece. So 20 times 2 is 40. Then this other one is 21. So 21 plus 40 is going to be giving me 60. Is going to give me 61. So what I will do next is to get my radius, or to get the waist, to get the actual measurement I'll be using for the waist. The formula for it is going to be 3.14, as in 3.15. So 60 divided by 3.15, 60 divided by 60 divided by 3.15 is going to give me 20 points. Let approximately 20 inches. So that will be our radius. That will be the radius. So what I'll be doing next now is that I will subtract the upper area, the upper bodies from the length of as in the gown I'm making. The length of the gown I'm making is 63. 63 minus 20, which is the upper part, which is half scale, is going to remain. We're going to be having 43. Plus my radius, which is 20 again, I'm going to add it to it, making it to still come back to 63. Then that 63, I'm going to mark out 63 in my material. I'm going to mark it in two places. That is what I have done. I'm going to fold it. That is 63 in two places. Look at it. I'm measuring it to confirm it. 63 in two places. I have already done that. 63 in two places. So I'll make sure and confirm it that our material is 63 in length. So once I am done with that, I'll cut out any other material we have there. That is so that we'll have our work piece for the flay at the down part of this dress. We are cutting out the down part of the dress. So I'm going to cut out the remaining, as in the remaining, I'm going to cut it out. That is what I'm doing right now. So once I'm done doing that, we'll move on to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and fold in a bias form. Remember, I firstly folded into two, that's 63, 63, 63. I measured that length 63 and another length 63, and I folded into two. Mind you, the length of our African print always comes in 43, 40, that's the length. But if you're using other materials that comes in 60, you will not have this disadvantage I'm having now. You can see that this one is shorter. One side, after folding it in a bias form, one side is longer than the other. So that is not a problem. I will go ahead and measure. When I'm done measuring it, I'll use material and then join it to make up for the shortage. So I'll be going ahead to measure 20 from the tip of the bias that I folded. I'll be measuring 20 downwards, which is our radius. Then I will connect the dots that I have made. Once I'm done connecting the dots, I'm going to go ahead and now take the length of the material. Remember, we have already minus 20 from 60. The length of the dress that we are making. Remember, if we minus 20, which is the upper part of the dress, from 63, we'll have 43. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 43 all the way down. Just don't be bothered about the shortage we'll have at one end of the dress. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 43, sorry, all round. I'm going to mark 43 all round. Once I'm done marking 43 all round, I'm going to cut it out. Teaching is not an easy job. Kudos to all our content creators. You guys are amazing. So what I'll be doing next now is to get a material, the same material. Look at what I'll be doing. At that point, I'll be joining the material to make up for the shortage we'll have for the dress. If you're working with a material that is by 60, length by 60, you wouldn't have these issues. But once you're working with African print, you're going to have this issue. So once you're having this issue, what you just do is to get another material, the same material you're using, get part of it and join it. Once you're done joining it, you fold it again and recut it to make sure that all the lengths are equal. You can see now the lengths are all equal. I'm done joining everything I need to join, and they are all equal. All right, you can see everything is equal. Everything is equal. No one is short. I'll go ahead and just make sure I iron it properly so that the joining will not be noticeable. Look at where I joined. That's the back part. Look at the half inches where I joined. That is what I have done on my machine. So what I'll be going ahead to do now is that this my gown, maxi gown, is a unique one. It will be having a pocket. If you don't want yours to have a pocket, you don't need to split the clothes. You don't need to split the material. But if yours is going to have a pocket, you have to do this. You can see this is on a fold of 2, not on a fold of 4. At the open end of the fold, I'm going to make sure that the upper part of the dress aligns. You can see the way I did it aligns with the down part, and I will pin it down. Then I will make sure that the down part as well, the back part aligns too. Then I'll pin it down. Then I will split it open the way you're going to see me do right now. This is because the client wants the dress to have a pocket. But if you don't want yours to have a pocket, this step is not necessary. You don't need it. You just need one piece, and that's all. So since we are done now splitting the down part of the dress, I'm going to be setting aside the down part of the dress and we'll work with the upper part of the dress. So what we'll be doing now is that I'm going to go ahead on my machine and join the shoulder to shoulder of the front and the back. Right side facing right side, I'm going to stitch on the wrong side. Right side facing right side, we are going to be stitching on the wrong side by 1/2 inch on the shoulder. So that is what I'll be doing on my machine right now. So once I'm done stitching that, I'll come and show us. It's just the shoulder I'll be working on. Once I finish joining the shoulder, I'll bring it so that we'll see. Here we'll have it. I'm already done joining the shoulder. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is that we are going to be attaching our belt. Then after we are done attaching the belt, then we'll head over to the next thing. My belt, the length is 22. That is what I used, 22. And on the width, the wideness is 5 inches. After folding, I'm using 4.5 inches, sorry. After folding, I'm using 4.5 inch to stitch. I now have 2 inches left, the 2 inches. So what I'll be doing now is that from that end, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. Then I will attach the belt the way you see me do. I'm going to come up. I've already come up by 1 inch. Then from there, I'll just attach the belt. I'm going to be doing it on both sides of the center front of the back of the front, please. The center front of the front, the center front. Then I'll go up by 1 inch again. Then I will attach my belt. Then I will go and hold it down on the machine. Teaching is not easy. I really applaud everyone that is teaching in one way or the other, whether online, offline, anywhere. You guys are amazing. And those people watching, you guys are also amazing. For following me up to this extent, you are wonderful. So I'm going to be using my bias. After I'm done attaching the belt, I'm going to use my bias and turn it from one end of the front down to the back neckline, then to the other end of the front part of the dress. Then I'm going to use my bias to turn it, to fold it. Once I'm done with that, I'll bring it so that we all see. If you have watched to this extent, kudos to you. I love you guys. Just do not forget to hit on the like button and also share this video. So like I said, I've already done turning the front part like I told you. So what we'll be doing now is to work on the sleeve. The sleeve is just a simple flea. It's very simple. It's a simple flea. So you can decide to use 360-degree to cut it, or you can decide to use bias form to cut it. In this particular one, I use the bias form because the material I am trying to just manage it. So I use the bias form. I folded in bias form, then I cut it out. So what I'll be doing now is to pin down the two edges because I know there will be a pleat somewhere and I want it to be at the center. So I'll just join at the two ends, then pleat the center. So I'll be going ahead to do this on my machine. I'll go ahead and then attach it on my machine and I'll bring it so that we'll see what we have done. Yeah, here we go. I'm already done attaching the sleeve. Look at how beautiful it is looking already. Look at the sleeve and every other thing. So the next thing we'll be doing right now, the next thing I'll be doing here right now is to go ahead and introduce the down part of this dress. Is the down part of this dress that we'll be bringing in right now. Excuse me. Be bringing in that is the back part of the down part. So I will just go ahead and hold it down. If there is any excess, do not, if you like, you can cut it off. If you don't like, you can pleat it in. If you take your measurement very well, there will be no shortages. The only thing that you can have is excess, but there will be no shortages. So the excess, what you can do is to pleat it like the way I did at the back part of the dress. I had to pleat in what I have as the excess. So for this front part of it, I'm going to be folding one end, that is one end of the dress, the parts that will be at the center front where they will be opening, the parts that will lap. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to double fold it on my machine. I'm going to do it on both sides of the front. So I'm going to be folding, double folding it, and then I will stitch on it. That is the part that is where the belt is, the part that will be open. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I'll be doing is I'll be joining the back part by half an inch, then the front back part by half an inch on the waist area. Then I will fold the front part, the center front of the down part, the end. So that is what I'll be doing right now. I am done doing that. I am done joining it. So the next thing we'll be doing right now is to join the sides. The next thing I'll be doing right now is to join the sides. And remember, we gave 1.5 inch as our allowance for the joining of the side seam. So what I'll be doing now is that by this side, you will determine where you want your the lap to lap, whether it's going to be lapping facing the right side or lapping facing the right side. So what I will do now is to, when I stitch from the sleeve down to the waist area, I'm going to be having an opening there where the belt will pass in. So I'm going to be having 2 inches. I'm going to be opening 2 inches. That's half inch away from the waistline. Then to the upper part, I will be having 2 inches opening there. So when I stitch and I get to that place, I will stop. Then that at the down part as well, I'm going to be from the waist area, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. Then I will measure out 7 inches, which is the opening of my pocket. Then I will mark. So what I'll be doing is that by the sides, when I get to that side that I open by the 7 inches, I will leave it open. Do you understand? Do you understand? The other side, what the only place I'll be leaving is the pocket area. That is 7 inches by the down part of the dress. But this other side, I'll be leaving out where my belt will pass through, and then where I'll be fixing the pocket. That is where I'll be leaving open. I will join the both sides by 1.5 inches. So I'm trying to get the place where the pocket will be. That is what I am trying to do. Once I am done with that, I will go and stitch it and leave open the pocket side and then the belt side. So I hope you guys are getting me. So I am done joining it. You can see now, look at the place I opened up for the belt to pass in. That is what I'm trying to show you. So I've passed in my belt in it. You can see it. So I've passed in the belt in it. So that is what I was trying to explain. And then the pocket area too, you can see it. I left it open. Those are the places I left on the both sides for the pocket. I left it open. So what we'll be doing next right now is to go ahead and hem the down and then fix in our pocket. That means our dress is ready. I'm going to hem the down part of I'm going to be holding it a little. It's not going to be more than 1 inch. I'm going to hem it by 1 inch. So and also go ahead and fix the pocket. So once I'm done with that, our dress is completed and ready. So guys, I'll be heading over to my machine to hem the down part and then fix the pocket. So you can see our dress is ready. The next thing to do now is to iron the dress and remove all the labels that came with the dress. This is the back part where I plated. You can see how good it is looking, and look at the clothes on the mannequin. Thank you for sitting up to this extent, and you'll be doing me a great favor and helping this channel to grow by hitting on the subscribe button if you have not done so. Like and share my video to those that it will be of a benefit to, that would benefit from this tutorials. And also, I do not take you all for granted, both to my returning subscribers and to the visiting ones. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sitting through. See you in my next video. Bye.